My name is Michaela Marans. I'm a junior at University of Oregon. My sexual orientation is bisexual, I guess, based on the fact that I mostly have liked girls in my life, but also have a boyfriend right now. So I don't know, it's just, yeah.
I'm Vincent. I'm a freshman here at the University of Oregon, and I identify as bisexual, though I think that for me encompasses the different aspects of pansexuality.
My name is Rebecca Glass. I am a recent graduate from the University of Oregon, and I am bisexual.
The bisexual characters I know in mainstream media are Piper from Orange is the New Black, Callie from Grey's Anatomy, Joe McMillan from *Halt and Catch Fire*, Frances Underwood from House of Cards, and those are all the ones that come to mind immediately.
Some bisexual characters that I can think of would be that one lady doctor from House, and that's about it.
Not having a lot of bisexual characters in mainstream media affects me in the way that it makes it seem less like a valid orientation or something that people are, making up because they haven't made up their minds yet or don't want to leave anything out. Like, people kind of look down on it. They think it's only, if you're going to be gay, at least be one for something. Just, yeah.
I think not having many bisexual characters has affected me because I had to get my own idea of bisexuality from the very few characters I ever saw, like the doctor from House. So my idea of being bisexual was, wow, I have to be hot and make a lot of jokes about being bi all the time for the pleasure of the guys around me, which she does in the show a lot, and I find it weird.
Not having bisexual characters in the media hasn't really affected me personally, though I understand that it's a huge loss on their part. Could write in so many cool characters, and also not raising awareness of it and not talking about it sort of stigmatizes it and just further perpetuates whatever stigma there is against bisexuality.
Some inaccurate answers that I've heard about people being bisexual or characters would be that it's selfish, that people are just confused, that it's really, really rare. I've heard lesbians friends say that they would never date bisexual girls because they've been tainted by guys, which is, misogynistic, transmisogynistic, biphobic, any words you want to think of. I've heard that you're not bisexual unless you've actually dated more than one gender. This is the top things off the top of my head.
I think all the stereotypes about bisexuals, I think personally it makes me laugh just because I think they're very incorrect. The whole just a phase thing is very weird because at first, when I first realized I was bisexual, oh, maybe it's a thing, maybe it's one guy, and then I was like, oh no, it's a couple, it's a lot. So I don't know, I don't identify with any of it, so I just sort of shrug it off, but I can understand how it can negatively impact the community as a whole.
All of those types of generalizations are hurtful, I would say. Because like I said before, it just makes you feel invalidated, like your life experience isn't, like you're somehow making up what you are.
I had a boyfriend for 3 years, and then I recently went on a date with a girl, and my parents said that they were considering joining PFLAG online, and I asked them why, and they said because I had finally, shown them that it was true. And I was like, wow, that's really invalidating. Thanks, guys.
Well, it's weird. When I came out as just liking girls, every single person asked me, well, how do you know you just like girls if you haven't dated a guy? Like, how do you know if that's whatever? But then once I then was out, but then said, oh, I have a boyfriend now, they're like, well, you can't just, what, you said you like girls, how can you all of a sudden, it's like, what do you want from me? Why can't I just like who I like? I don't care. So yeah.
When I hear inaccurate comments about bisexuals in the media. Just it's really disheartening that there's, first of all, so little representation, and second of all, it just makes me think that there are so few people of that sexuality in the industry that I feel like I won't be accepted if I'm out and join the industry, which I would hope to do in the future.
I think when networks change the sexuality of characters, it destroys canon, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves in like representing a certain text. But also it really invalidates them as a character, because when you take away like a defining trait of a character, you immediately invalidate part of their story. You say like, this is not good enough.
When network executives, media executives change the sexual orientation of a character that existed in one medium, and now they want to, I don't know, make more money off of them, they make them straight or something. It just seems silly, and especially if you are making something like a comic into a movie, you're doing that because you already have a built-in fan base. You know you're going to make at least a little bit of money off of it because there's people who like it already. Why would you change something that basic about a character? I don't know what they think, people can't handle it or something in 2015. It just, I don't know, it's just silly.
Queer baiting, like in Supernatural, with the intense connection between Dean and Castiel, and he's like carrying his coat around after Castiel dies, spoiler, or when they give each other soulful looks, but they don't ever kiss, and and then Dean has a scene where he's like rocking out with some chicks and always picking out hookers.
Oh, I take it all back. I love the devil.
It's like, oh, don't worry, it's okay. He's still straight. Look at this. Total women everywhere.
Bisexual erasure is something that hurts a lot more people than they even realize, because there's the people who are open about it, and then there's all the people who are too afraid to talk about it and about themselves, don't think it's real, and therefore their life experience doesn't count, or there's something more wrong with there's nothing wrong with them, but they're made to feel like there is something wrong with them because nobody is representing them on TV and movies and books or anything like that. So
having so little bisexual or just any LGBT representation makes me really excited when I do find it, especially when I was younger and I wasn't out. Like when Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl song came out, I was super excited. It doesn't matter how poor of representation it actually was. Just the fact that a woman was singing about I Kissed a Girl was so extremely fantastic to me. And like now looking back at it, I'm like, wow, that's a terrible, terrible song. She doesn't hope her boyfriend minds. It's just a joke. But at the time, no, it was my favorite song because it was just so validating.
If I were to talk with an executive, I would probably just tell them, just know your audience and know the fact that you will have heterosexual audience, you will have homosexual audience, and you will even have bisexual audience. So if you can appeal to all three and more of those categories, you're gonna have like a much better fan base, and you're gonna make a richer text that's gonna make everyone happy, including yourself.